Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to this episode of The Dan Dawson Show. So I know you're thinking, why is Dan playing with a knife? I'm not actually playing with it. Kind of getting, used to it. Never really was a knife guy. But lately I've been more into knives. Let me tell you why. You might want to get into them too. And this is the MTech Extreme Haze Design Combat Knife. Very heavy blade, I might add. The lady sharing the screen with me today is Jennifer MalleyDillon. And as you can see from her wall, she apparently has a little crush on Beto. You know, Mr. Hell yes, we're going to take your AR-15s. Hell yes, we're going to take your AK-47s. And now with Biden, already introducing his plan, even though he hasn't officially won the election, to tax your AR-15s, your AR platforms, your assault weapons, right? Because assault weapons are so evil. Even though we're going to tax those and make it harder for legal gun owners to own guns, but we're still going to let criminals out of prison. I know it makes no sense. At the same time, while we're defunding the police, I know you're thinking it makes no sense. It makes no sense to me either. You know what? Maybe I should have named this show The Hoodie Show. I don't even know. But yeah, this is Jennifer MalleyDillon. And her whole thing is gun control. Well, you may be asking, well, Dan, why is that important right now? Well, because she's just been appointed Joe Biden's new chief of staff. That's right. Beto and his minions, his gun-stealing minions, have a hold-in on your, I guess you can call him the president-elect. I wouldn't even call him that yet. It's ridiculous. So for all you gun owners, for all you millions and millions of gun owners that went out there and bought a firearm to protect yourself and your family, because you care about your family, you care about the things you've worked hard for. You want to protect your children. You want to protect your wife, your husband. Better get really good with a knife, because that's what you're about to be left with. Now, don't get it twisted. You got to get inside that 10-foot distance, I'd say, if you're in really good shape, 21. If you're not, you might want to get inside that 5-foot distance, because you just voted away your Second Amendment rights. Now, of course, is the Supreme Court, as it's currently constructed, going to look at this and say, this is unconstitutional, you can't do this? Yeah, probably. 3-4 years down the road. But in the meantime, if you used your legally purchased firearm that holds over 10 rounds, which is any medium-sized firearm these days, Glock, SIG, Walter, Ruger, doesn't matter. It's going to hold over 10 rounds. You become a felon. And all those felons they just let out of jail, you get to go take their place. Because of professional victims like this. I've seen people like this before, you see? They're professional victims. Look at her. Look at the stupid smile on her face. How weak and soft she looks. Her mentality. The smugness of being able to tell you what weapons you can own to defend your family. Guess what? If you don't do exactly what she says, then you go to jail. You defend your family, you go to jail. Felons who make a life out of crime, they don't. How's that fair, America? How is that fair? I don't know. I just wanted to make this short video to make sure you guys went out and got nice heavy-duty knife. And to be aware of what's going to happen. You see, because I don't have to register my guns. But if somebody breaks in my house and I use one of my firearms to defend myself, God forbid, with a clip that, or magazine, it's not a clip is the old weapon magazine. But Joe Biden says clip so much, and she said clip in this video, which kind of threw me off a little bit. It's a magazine. She said it like 1,000 times. This lady, I swear to God. Then Dan goes to jail for defending his home, for defending his family, and for defending his property. Meanwhile, those violent criminals, you're just going to let right back out of jail. This makes no sense. Oh, and something else, America. Let's talk about the state of America a little bit. His foreign correspondent was the one that pushed for China to be in the WTO. You know, when China came into the WTO, they cost America 3.5 million jobs. So manufacturers leaving again. He wants to open the borders. So, hey, MS-13, come on in. Like you remember 9/11, the hijackers didn't fly in on a flight. They came in through that southern border. So, hey, terrorism, welcome back. And what do you have to defend yourself? A knife. Ridiculous. This whole thing is just off to a worse point than I thought it was going to be at. And I don't know, I'm having trouble dealing with it. Just water. Throat got a little dry there. And it's people like this, professional victims, that aren't happy with just being victims themselves. They want you to be a victim too. Hey, don't register your guns. Don't participate in the mandatory buyback. Don't fall for what these idiots are telling you. You can look at her and see she's a professional victim. That's all she does. Here's my thing. I will not tell you how to defend yourself and your family, but you don't have the right to tell me how to defend mine, especially when the Second Amendment is a right, not a privilege, not a suggestion. It's a right. Just annoying. Oh, people like this. And you guys voted them into government. Well, I know none of my viewers did, but the people you know did. So thank you for watching this episode of The Dan Dawson Show. Like, subscribe, share. Do not register your guns. Do not buy into the mandatory or voluntary buyback. Bury them in the backyard if you have to. But do what you got to do.